Hollywood insider Jeff Snyder dropped a bombshell on his podcast, The Hot Mic. He claimed that Avengers Doomsday might miss its May 1st, 2026 release date and could be pushed back to a later slot, potentially as far as November 2026 or even 2027. Now, this would be a massive shift for a film that's already generating so much hype. But is there any truth to it? Well, Snyder mentioned that Marvel hasn't finalized the full cast yet, which could be causing some behind-the-scenes headaches. But here's the kicker: despite filming kicking off on April 28th, 2025, insiders say the script is still being reworked. It's gone through multiple writers, Jeff Loveness, Michael Waldron, and now McFeely, and some reports even claim it's only half finished. Now, I know that sounds alarming, but Marvel's pulled off miracles before. Remember Iron Man? That film was practically ad-libbed, and it launched the MCU. Still, with a project this massive, an unfinished script raises red flags. What do you think? Is Marvel biting off more than they can chew? Let me know in the comments. But the problems don't even end there, because later I will talk about the production and cast problems. The Russo brothers, who directed Infinity War and Endgame, are back at the helm, and they've already shared a glimpse from set, a photo of a chair labeled Victor Von Doom, hinting at Robert Downey Jr.'s new role. But here's the thing: Marvel has a history of making last-minute adjustments, especially with films this complex. Let's talk about the cast. Marvel pulled out all the stops with a surprise livestream on March 26, 2025, revealing a star-studded lineup. We're talking Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, and even Halle Berry reportedly in talks to reprise her role as Storm from the X-Men films. But here's the problem: Avengers Doomsday is scheduled for release on May 1st, 2026, just 12 months from the start of filming. To put this in perspective, Avengers Endgame began filming in August 2017 and released in April 2019, 20 months later. James Gunn's Superman started production in February 2024 for a July 2025 release, 17 months later. Even the Marvels had a 15-month post-production window. Marvel's compressed timeline raises serious questions. Industry insiders report that 70% of the film's VFX sequences are already in pre-production, with studios like Industrial Light Magic working from pre-visualized storyboards. However, the rushed schedule has sparked concerns about CGI quality, especially after recent criticism of MCU projects like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Robert Downey Jr.'s transformation from Tony Stark to Victor Von Doom is the film's biggest wildcard. Set photos reveal a campus-like environment with wood-paneled walls, a stark contrast to Latveria's Gothic architecture. Marvel is taking unprecedented steps to prevent leaks, filming primarily on sound stages at Pinewood Studios, using codenamed scripts for different cast members, implementing drone jamming technology around sets. Despite these measures, a Reddit user claiming to be a crew member hinted at a multiversal council of dooms, suggesting variants played by Julian McMahon, 2005's Fantastic Four, and Toby Kebbell, 2015's Fantastic Four, could appear. Kevin Feige's teased unprecedented interactions between heroes from different franchises, specifically highlighting a scene involving Anthony Mackie's Captain America and Kelsey Grammer's Beast 47. This aligns with leaked set designs showing massive crater effects, possibly hinting at a battle involving the X-Mansion's destruction. Despite Feige's confidence, reports from Gamerant and the Cosmic Circus suggest the script remains 40% unfinished, with major action sequences being storyboarded without finalized dialogue. This Marvel method, production where visual sequences are locked in before scripts, has drawn criticism from writers like Doctor Strange 2's Michael Waldron. The Russo brothers appear unfazed. In a recent Collider interview, Joe Russo stated, "We've developed a proprietary AI tool that analyzes 40 years of Marvel comics to generate character-appropriate dialogue. It's not replacing writers, it's enhancing their ability to work at scale."
Potential issues surrounding AI, not all of which we can control, because there are bad actors in the world that are going to do things that are beyond our reach. But what we can control, one thing that we're convinced of in any exploration we've done in the AI space, is that a human always has to be in control of the technology that they're using, not vice versa. You can't have AI acting autonomously. It always has to go through a human. And that, to me, is the most important and simplest rule for regulating it.
With the clock ticking, Avengers Doomsday faces three potential scenarios. A delay to 2027. Pushing the release would allow proper post-production but create a domino effect for Avengers Secret Wars, currently slated for May 2027. A rushed product meeting the 2026 deadline risks repeating Quantumania's VFX issues and narrative incoherence. Avengers Doomsday isn't just another sequel, it's a $400 million gamble to reset the MCU after mixed reception to Phase 4. With Robert Downey Jr.'s return, the introduction of the X-Men, and the multiverse collapsing, the film must redeem Marvel's box office dominance after the Marvel's underperformance, establish Doctor Doom as a Thanos-level threat, lay groundwork for the next decade of storytelling. As cameras roll, all eyes are on the Russo brothers. Hollywood insider Jeff Snyder recently reported that Marvel is still figuring out what that ensemble looks like. Some roles remain under wraps, and sources say the studio is keeping options open for surprise cameos and last-minute additions. Despite the fanfare, there's a storm brewing. Multiple sources, including the Direct and Deadline, report that Avengers Doomsday may not make its May 1st, 2026 release date. The cause? Ongoing script revisions, uncertainty over the final ensemble, and the sheer scale of the production. Marvel's next available slot is November 6th, 2026, a delay of 6 months that would ripple across the entire MCU slate. Spider-Man 4 was just pushed to July 2026, and if Doomsday moves, Secret Wars could slide into 2027, extending the multiverse saga even further. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The Russos themselves have called the script radical, hinting at major changes still to come.
Giving too much away, but I think we're always looking for new faces because there's always new stories to tell, and I think these movies are going to be a surprise to people. We found a way into the story that's very exciting to us, but we think very radical. And I think it's going to challenge audiences.
Marvel is determined not to rush this film. After the mixed reception to recent projects, Feige and the Russos know they need to get Doomsday right, even if it means waiting. And what happens next might change everything. The financial stakes are massive. Downey is earning $50 million for each film, with bonuses that could double his take if the movies break box office records. The Russos themselves are each making $40 million per film one. This isn't just a movie, it's a billion-dollar bet on the future of superhero cinema. Let's be real, rushing Avengers Doomsday would be a disaster. The last few years have shown that even Marvel isn't immune to franchise fatigue and production missteps. The Russos' return is a signal Marvel is betting on quality, not just quantity.
Roll cameras sometime in April. And that's on the first one, and then the second one will be shortly behind that. So
standard kind of
probably
length shoot.
6 months for each of them.
Do you know when we're going to start hearing about casting and like which characters are coming in?
Never,
no.
Not until you go to the theater.
Right.
Sure, I don't believe that. There's things called set picks and whatnot, but
we're pretty good about shutting that down.
A delay could give the creative team the breathing room they need to craft a story worthy of Endgame's legacy. With the multiverse saga's climax hinging on these next two films, every detail matters, from casting to CGI to the emotional arcs fans crave. And yes, there's still time for surprises. Chris Evans is expected to return in a secret role, Haley Atwell is back as Agent Carter, and rumors swirl of more legacy characters joining. Let me know what you think about this, and would you be okay with the delay?